Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to another game. This one is a new one, it's a better one, it's a different one. This is Distant Worlds Universe. I don't know if you can hear me over that noise in the background. Let's turn that down, shall we? So this is Distant Worlds Universe. If you don't know what Distant Worlds Universe is, it's basically a 4X game. This game is... Whoa, it is the ultimate 4X in my eyes. If you don't know what 4X is, it means explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate game. Basically, this game, if you put everything on max, like maximum suns and solar systems and stuff, you can get roughly around 1,400 solar systems. That's 1,400 solar systems. And up to about 50,000 planets, plus moons, plus asteroids. I have never finished a game of this. I played this game on multiple occasions, using multiple different mods. I have never, not once, completed a campaign. Never once. So we're going to try that today. You can't play this game in one sitting, to be honest with you. This game will take you months. And even after like 4 or 5 months, you will just be like, okay, what else? Like, there's still more. There's so much to do, so much to research, so much to see, so much vastness. Well, we're just going to get into it. So we're going to start a new game. Well, you know what? We're just going to do the introductory game. Because it's been a while since I played it. It's been about a year and a bit since I played it. So we're just going to get into it. We're going to play the tutorial bits. We're going to get through that. And then we'll get into the fun sandboxiness. One good thing about this game is it is Windows-based. I mean, literally Windows-based. The entire game is based on Windows itself. When you actually play it, Windows boxes pop up inside Windows. And here we go. Welcome to your empire. Yugnari Industries. I've never used these guys before. Every other species I've ever picked was human. In this case, it looks like it was picked for us randomly. We're in the Tanab system. You are the ruler of the Ignaris. The style of government is Mercantile Guild. Your empire has 1 colony in 1 system. Victory condition targets achieve 80% of the following. The Yugnari race-specific conditions. Your economy generates 25% of the galaxy total. Control 25% of the galaxy's population, and control 25% of the colonies in the galaxy, which, long story short, will be hard to do. Oh, hey, the game capture's working, but it doesn't see everything. So, what you're seeing right now is the game, right? If I hit the transition button, this is actually what OBS sees. This is what I see. Very interesting. So, yeah, a lot of this stuff, like the stuff down here, is actually overlaid through Windows. It's very good. So, you are Standard Empire of the Classic Age. Your empire has begun to expand beyond your own solar system. Other mighty stellar empires are also moving out into the stars. Meanwhile, pirates, smugglers, and mercenaries still hold control over uncharted regions of the galaxy. You can defend your growing empire from these forces and prosper? Question mark. What should you do? Constantly expand your empire by colonizing new planets, building new mining stations and research stations. Build up a strong military to deal with threats and from other empires and pirates. Use diplomacy to make friends and deter enemies. Start playing. So, one thing I will admit that I do love about this game is the sheer amount of what you're seeing in front of you right now is mess. So this is our home planet, Tanab 7. If we scroll it a little bit, you'll see this is the orbit that we're going around our planet. Our planet is going around a sun, which is the Tanab. In close orbit, we have Tanab 1, which is an ice planet. It's got a quality rating of 81%. It has a... Yep, we can actually colonize if we want. Of NRE. We have resources here. It has the resource of Tyrolean Down. It's a soft white down of the Tyrolean Beast. So it's like fur. If we click on the next one here, Tanab 2, It's got silicon as a resource. Right now we're not able to colonize it. If you zoom in a little further, sometimes you'll see... Oh, yep. So this is... I believe a moon of Tanab 1. Barren rocky moon. We're not able to colonize it, but there's lead and there is steel on this planet, which is very good. No facilities on it as of yet. Interesting, I see that little thing right there. This next one is another moon. It has lead on it as well. There we go. On this orbit here we have Tanab 3. We're unable to colonize it at this time, but it has gold and it has lead, which is really good. If we need helium, we just need like helium 3 is pretty good next. And then its moon has gold on it. The next planet up for bids is Tanab 4. It has no moons. It has no resources and no facilities, so that planet's going to be pretty much useless to us. The next one is Tanab 5. It has 3 moons. It has a high source of hydrogen. One of the moons has steel and iridium. Another one has lead and steel. And last but not least, the last moon here, I'm not going to pronounce its name, has steel. So I like how each moon has its name, as well as the planet itself. So Tanab 5. It's a gas giant. It's got tons of hydrogen. And the next one on our list is another gas giant with 3 moons. It has lots of krypton and Caslon. One of its moons here has steel and lead. This other one has nothing. And this one has steel. So, let's look around a little bit here. Whoops. I think we have some... If you look at the thing here, there's 2 dots here and here. You kind of move around a little bit. Sometimes it takes a little while to see them. Is this the planet I'm clicking here? If I zoom in... Oh, there they are here. That is an asteroid. It has steel in it. We zoom out a little bit. See how hard that thing is to find? You have to kind of click and move your mouse around a little bit. I think there's another one right there. Nope. Click and you can kind of see the background moves, or like only it moves. I think there's another one right here. Yes, there is. It's another asteroid. It has steel. So if you kind of move things around a little bit, you'll see like there's also another asteroid. Whoa, that one's actually pretty big. It's got lead. So we're kind of lucking out a little bit. We do have a significant amount of like, we don't have any massive, nothing there. No massive asteroid belts that have tons of stuff. But nonetheless. Gonna move things around a little bit here to see what this other one is. These are fucking hard to find. It's in between these two here. It's right there. Yep. Gold. Zoom into this one. Okay. So now, a couple things we want to do with this game is automation. Automation is a big deal in this game. We're going to leave automation on, but this is the research tree. So like a lot of other 4X games, it's broken up into multiple different research trees. So for example, we have our weapons tree. Then we have our energy and construction tree. So it tells you right there a little bit below what it's researching. So So right now, weapons are improved assault tactics. Energy and construction is researching advanced maneuvering. Now, what you can do is once you're beyond a certain point when researching, you can click on something and actually buy it. Just, you know, basically spend money on it, no big deal. High tech and industrial. This is like your colonization, stuff like that, which we're actually gonna go for first. I usually like to get my research done for colonization, just so I can kind of, you know, get them through. Because once you have a lot of colonization, like this will get us pretty well situated. We're gonna go there, then there, then there, then there. Then we'll just go right there. So the plan would be to get colonization through first, because once we can get colonization through first, we can colonize a lot of the stuff internally to our own solar system, get our economy booming internally to ourselves, and then we can slowly work our way out. Then you have research stations. So these are research stations that you personally build around your own solar system. Your planets, your moons, your sun, your you know, in the middle of nowhere, you name it, to actually help design your own stuff. I love it. It's definitely one of those things where I could do this for days, do this for hours. So here is the Empire summary page. So it tells us right now, this is how much money we have on hand. We have 57,000. We have a cash flow of 99,000. Right now we have our expenditures. On this side, we have expenditures of 17,000 for ship maintenance and 3,000 for troop maintenance. And right now we have nothing right now from foreign trade or spaceport income or anything like that. One of the things I do like about this game is where it says spaceport income, we can build a space station. Like for example, you can play a game where you're like, you know what, I'm really not going to go out that much, I'm going to do more of an isolation thing. You can make money off of your own people by building space stations, and they just use them. So when you don't use them, private companies will actually manufacture mining ships, you know, their own ships themselves, and they'll go out. And you'll have your own ships. You'll see your ships that aren't even yours. They're actually just built by civilians on your planets to travel back and forth between planets, to visit and check out and just visit places for tourist destinations. You will see that businesses and corporations will build ships to mine stuff for you. Like you build a facility and then they build all the ships to go and collect stuff. They'll even see just a gas giant and they'll just go and collect the stuff. So this is our solar system. This is going to be kind of crazy. By the end of it, we'll have ships all over the place. But, so you see, we're zooming out here. Here is the star map. Oh, we already have another planet, another solar. Wow, we have 2 solar systems. 3 solar systems to our power in our control, actually. Or not this one. But we have Tanab, which is our home planet. And we have Naboo, which from the looks of it is we're just mostly using it right now for mining. So right now we get a gas mining station here on this gas giant, which is getting us argon and krypton. We have this here, this mining station, which is getting us some stuff. Looks like it's mostly getting us iridium. So we're mostly using this system for mining, which is really good. I think this is a space station here. Well, we got a research station in orbit around Naboo 2. It's got some moons going on here. We're getting calcium and hydrogen from this one. So usually when you start a game, since we're doing the tutorial, it's going to pretty much walk us through what we're going to be doing over the next little bit. But you'll notice, as I zoom out, just the sheer size. All these dots that you're seeing here. If it's an X, or like a little star here, it's a gas cloud. If it's a little swirl, it kind of looks like a black hole. Well, it is a black hole. Suns are different colors. Like, for example, here we have a super gas giant, which is kind of an orange color. Here we've got a main sequence star, a white dwarf star, a main sequence star, and another main sequence star. So, yeah, it's actually very interesting. You can actually see the actual spiral. It's only 2 spiral arms, though. And every single thing you see on this map, from this little star here to this little cross here to anything over here, like these 2 things side by side, you can go to them. You can go and take a look at all of them. You can see, run around, play around, visit them all, and basically conquer them, control them, do whatever. Next one we're looking at is the diplomacy screen. So right now we don't know anybody. So here's the galaxy here. There's not much going on. A couple things that make me nervous usually are, well, actually, we don't have to worry about too much about that. I played a couple matches where some planets would be spread out, like 5 or 6 of them down our solar systems are here, and then you'd have like 5 or 6 around here. We're kind of in a non-popular area right now, so we're not too worried about much other than growing slowly. The problem is that as we grow, a lot of these places are far away from one another, so our supply lines are going to be stretched out a little bit. I usually prefer to be in like a cluster like this, where everyone's pretty close, and you can go real close early in the game and not have to worry about stuff. You can still zoom in and take a look at these places, like here. We can look around, but we can't see anything because we never scouted it. So you have to scorch stuff, see? Not explored. So, lots of stuff, lots of stuff. That's where we're going to center it on us. And we also have our own little fleet here, the 6th fleet, which is all these buttons here. So right here, for example, we have our characters. We have Tex Ixanto, who, as you see on the screen there with the flashing, is an intelligence operative. Then we have Quan, that's our leader. Here we have colonies of, well, just Tanab 7 right now. We're okay. It's sitting at 31. I like to think of this as Imperium Galactica 3, basically. If you've never played Imperium Galactica, it's the best way to explain it. Here's all our mining stations right now. We've got 6 of them. So they show you on the right here what they're mining. So we got this one mining, looks like lead and some steel. So we're getting quite a bit of stuff. It looks like we're getting all the stuff you need at the beginning to kind of work on stuff here. We're not really we're constructing a mining station. This construction ship is building another mining station, and this one isn't doing anything right now. If you look at this little button here, it's being told automatically to go do stuff, which is good. The next one is our exploration ships. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to tell these things all just to go exploring, and basically they will explore the entire galaxy for us. Fleets are enemy targets, sorry. This will be like if there's a bad guy, it'll actually hover over it, and you'll get this little icon here showing you can attack it. Here's our fleet here. It's got 6 ships in it. It's got 3 frigates and 3 destroyers. So it's not a great fleet. Right now it is a power of 255. It's on no mission. We're gonna tell it later on, just to just to auto deploy. Go do your own thing for the first little bit. Here are our 3 military ships that are not part of a fleet. Now, part of a fleet usually is large ships, like anything from a destroyer up. Anything below a destroyer, sorry, a frigate up, sorry. A destroyer, or sorry, anything below that, which is an escort ship, is usually to escort mining ships, patrol and escort, trade routes and things like that. They're used quite a lot, and I like them. It's actually quite important to use those. Next one is potential colonies. So right here it's telling us, hey, Tanab 1 is in our system, and you can turn it into a colony if you want to. Next is pirates. Currently there is no pirate missions. If there was a mission, the pirates are asking you to go do something, or you were offering something to pirates, they would do it for you. The next one is potential mining sites. Now these are all the locations where you could mine for things. Right now a lot of our mining stuff is happening outside of our solar system, which isn't too bad. We can start doing some mining stuff in our own solar system soon to get a lot of resources and make a ton of money. Potential resource research locations. Now, with research locations, you can actually get bonuses towards research. So certain planets will give you bonuses saying, hey, if you research on this planet, you will research weapons better. You'll research energy and whatever better. You'll research this better, that better. So it's kind of like a little bonus tweaks and things like that. Potential resort locations. Now this is where you can build a resort for people. I swear to God, I'm right. I'm telling the truth. You can build a resort, and people will go visit it, and you'll actually get money from people visiting a resort from all different species and all that stuff. And that's about at least special locations. Now, these locations are things like monoliths. Later on, we should be contacted by some, other species or something like that. And there's even the things called the Ancients. And I can't remember what, there's 2 different species of Ancients. And these 2 both have special things that you have to go do for them and all that stuff, which is pretty good. Next thing here we're going to go through is this. This is basically just the summary page from before. Here's our colony screen. So this shows us right now what's going on. So right now we have 1% growth of the Ignari on our home planet. Right now we're sitting at 14,641,000,000 on our planet, which is pretty good. Population, well, I'm not too worried about all that stuff. Later on you can do this stuff down here to kind of breed out other species or get rid of other species and things like that, or even intermingle with other species. Cargo, this just shows you where it's getting cargo from. So right now, if we get it, it's getting 9,867 units of hydrogen, 9,000 units of whatever. These are all the different things it's getting, which is pretty good. On the planet alone, it has 72% of the planet, basically, or 72% resources-wise, is Teneros. The rest is useless. Troops and characters. So right now we've got, we're recruiting, the computer's recruiting 2 units of warriors, warbots, and we have 3 more units of warbots as well. So these guys are very mechanic. So basically when we build our machines for our, I don't think this uses up population. Construction yard, so this is where we're building stuff. So this is where if we're building colony ships, if we're purchasing warships and things like that. We're actually going to purchase a colony ship because we want that. We want to get the colony further closer into the into our system. So you can build stuff and everything like that. I like it. Next one's the docking bay. So this is where if you have to refit ships or what have you, they'll be in here, which is pretty good. Lots of these facilities that you built. So right now we don't have the ability to build any facilities, but later on you can build facilities and to make the things a little bit better. You can control your taxes. You can even rename your planet. And here is just some information specifically on the planet that you've selected. So right now the value of this planet is 385,000. I believe this is culture. Is 57%. Happiness is +10. The GDP, or the gross domestic product, is 100% of the Empire's GDP. 0% corruption right now. It's 430,000. Our taxes is sitting at 30%, which is 119,000. And in this current moment, there's 93% compliance. Basically means 93% of people are paying their taxes. Currently, we have 2 special people. We're creating 2 different groups of infantry here. We've got tons of infantry. No buildings, no docks. Because our leader is here, we have a bonus of 10% colony income, 10% colony happiness, and 10% against corruption, which is pretty good. And here, it'll show how we can expand our country a little bit more, or our nation if we want to, for specific things that we need and all that stuff. I will admit, a lot of stuff is automated. So here's the expansion planner. If we want to expand, here's the Empire comparison sheet, which right now we don't have anything with. Though we're at 16 of 25 for our economy, our population, to get the population thing, we're basically at 40% to win the game right now. So we're doing pretty good here. Empire policy screen. So here is where we can kind of set up some stuff. Now I said earlier, a lot of it can be automated. This is pretty much where you can tell the computer what to do and how to do things. I usually just leave this alone a lot of the time. That's the game editor. Here's the character screen. So right now we have 2 characters, which I mentioned earlier. You can actually tell this guy, hey, I want you to do something for me, but right now we don't have anybody. Our diplomacy screen, which we mentioned. Our research screen. Here is our ship design screen. So this is where you can actually design a ship. So you can actually click a type of ship, click edit, leave automation on. Get out of this because this is already in use. Yeah. But you can sit there and you can actually just kind of change different parts of your weapons and or your vehicles and stuff like that. Here's the order screen. So here's where right now the computer's telling us right here what we should build, what we shouldn't build. Here's our ships on our left, all that stuff. Here's some information on our fleets. We only have one fleet right now. It has no mission. Usually I have this screen open 90% of the time. And I'll tell the fleet, hey, do me a favor. You know, go to whatever. That's your home colony. Repair and fuel there. Refit. Load some troops. Go do an invasion. And last but not least, the troop screen. So here is our 5 units of troops. And then here is the main screen. So research, blah, 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 proximity sensors, etc. So now... give me 1 second. Options. So, automation. Right here. This is the part where you can set up how much it automates. Now, what I usually do is, because I want to be the head of the government, right? I don't want to sit there. I don't want to do everything. I want the computer to kind of be like, this is what we should do. This is what I like to think we should do. This is how much money we're making. If we do this, we can do this, we can do that. So here, it's going to automate tax rates. It's going to automate population policies, ship design, troop recruitment, fleet formations, research, and character locations. Customization. Or colonization. It's going to automate... it's actually going to... Sorry, that should be... Yeah, suggest new colonies. So from here on out, whenever there's a colony out there that the AI says, evaluates and goes, it's a good colony, it'll pop up and say, hey, we should... you know, we found a planet that's really good for colonization. Would you like us to colonize it? Sure. Hit a button and boom, it starts creating a colony ship and it gets ready to send it there for us. Shipbuilding, same thing. It'll actually tell us, hey, you know, we should build this many ships. They get pop-ups on the right hand of the side of the screen here, which you'll probably see in the second episode. Intelligence missions, the same thing. For intelligence missions, it's mostly all offensive. There's no defensive or anything. So what'll happen is it'll pop up and say, hey, we should send the following agent against the following organization. Attack enemies, it'll suggest targets. It won't actually just attack them. I usually do diplomatic gifts myself because I decide that. Treaties, it'll suggest it as well, so it should say, hey, you know, we're on really good terms with the following species. We should sign a trade agreement with them, or we should you know, sign a defense pact with them, or we should do this, we should do that. Because believe me, early in the game, it's not that hard, but long term in the game, when you've got 90 to 100 planets and you got 7 or 8 different species you're dealing with, plus subspecies. One of the things about this game is later on when you play a sandbox mode, in most games, like for example, like Imperium Galactica 2, or even like Sins of a Solar Empire, those planets, you go, you land on them, you take them over, no big deal if the AI isn't there, right? The thing with this game is if you don't go to that planet fast enough, and neither does the AI, that planet can actually evolve into its own country, its own game, its actual own AI. Basically, the game will go, okay, well, you know what? The population got high enough now that these people are now going to start building a space station, and you know what? They're going to start to explore as well. And they actually can become an independent system, and actually can grow and become an independent empire. I've come across 2 or 3 of them in a couple of games where I didn't even go into one huge section of my galaxy for a while, and I had it set up so I was playing against all, I think it's like 12 or 13 players. I found all 13. Most of us were spread out. If I were to zoom out on this one, but like most of us are spread out pretty good around the top, the left, and to the right. So if it was a circle, kind of like how it is here, we were all up here and down here. So this whole area down here didn't even touch it. You know, didn't touch a whole huge third of the map, to be honest with you. And I'm sitting there playing and playing and playing, and all of a sudden, one of my planets just starts getting attacked by a fleet, a huge fleet. I send a couple fleets over, defend it back, retake the planet, and a couple more fleets show up. A couple more fleets show up. And all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I start pressing into that area of the galaxy and coming across like these huge empires. There's like 8 or 9 of them that were all just like massively aggressive towards one another. And I was able to kind of broker a peace deal with everybody and kind of figure all it all out. But I had pretty much about 66% of the galaxy under my control, and the other one I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, okay, well, I'll deal with it a little later. I'll subsidize or figure out what's going on with my stuff first, and then I'll continue on because I just took out all the AI, so I'm not too worried about what's over there. There might be the odd colony over there, but that's no big deal. I really don't care. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh my god, like all these independent AI systems actually became independent. So it was actually quite impressive that the game can do this. War sanctions and trade sanctions, that's post-war. We can declare war on people depending on what they do, or even put in trade sanctions on people if to trade with other people, which I like. Colony facility buildings, that's basically buildings, stuff like that that's going to be built. And then last but not least, offer and accept pirate missions. So pirate missions are basically to smuggle in stuff for us. Now here is some additional settings for our empire as well. So default engagement stance for our military. If a unit's on patrol, it's going to engage system targets. If it's in escort duty, it's going to engage nearby targets. If it's got an attack on bombard, it's going to attack the nearest target. And if it's put on other, it's going to engage anything in the system. If it's set to manual, it's just going to obviously do whatever we tell it to. We have it set to auto right now, which is pretty good. And this here will say, okay, well, fleet attack settings. So first refuel when this percentage of fleet is needed by fuel. So basically, if they need 30% of fuel, I'm going to say when they need 60% for both. Overmatch, this means that if we have a 2-to-1 ratio, so if we have 2 ships to their 1, we'll attack. I usually prefer a 3-to-1 ratio. So for every 3 ships we have, then we'll attack them. With discoveries for ruins and for all sorts of stuff on different planets, it'll say, "Hey, we found a derelict spaceship. What would you like to do?" Or we've encountered an abandoned spaceship or base. What do you want to do? And what'll happen is, you know, you can go search it. And it'll say, hey, we found schematics for the following, or hey, we found a map of the following system, or we found, or nothing happened. The thing exploded and killed everybody and destroyed the ship that was docked to it. And same thing with ruins as well, right? It's kind of like the Indiana Jones thing, you know, lots of stuff. So, anyways, that is this episode number 1. Of Distant Worlds Universe. We're playing as the Tanab. Well, we're actually not playing as the Tanab. We're actually playing as the Ugnari Industries. I'm going to change the name of our species just to the Ugnari. Perfect. Oh, we're going to actually select our type of government here. We can actually change it if we wanted to. Like, see, we can have a revolution, we can change our government. One of the few things I do like about this game is you can actually do modifications. Not too much approval. If we had democracy, it'd be 40% war wariness. Maintenance costs would be kind of high. Maintenance costs here would be down. Approval's not the greatest. Research speed will be low. So right now, Mercantile Guild is pretty much where we want to go. Colony income's plus 30%. Maintenance cost for our military is 0, or is 10%. War weariness is meh. The problem is troop recruitment's kind of low, but we can offset that by basically just pummeling and destroying our enemies with our fleets, because we can have more ships because they're cheaper in the long run. So, until then, see you guys next time. See you in this universe. See you in the galaxy. Bye-bye.